Lavrov asserts that the foreign supporters of the Syrian opposition hinder the solution of the crisis in the country. The Higher Fatwa Council declares that defending Syria and the unity of its people is the duty for citizens and calls upon all our people to stand with our armed forces. Units of the Syrian Arab Army continue to purge the city of Homs from the crimes of terrorists acting under al-Qaeda and its ideology.
Countries, and that Syria will be a blatant example of the civilized nation. Hassoun's remarks came during an interview with the Syrian TV that was broadcast last night. He said that Syria will overcome the crisis and it will always be the cradle of civilization and the charity, and that the attack against it targets the religious history and the national identity, Hassoun said. He went on saying that the Syrian army does not only protect the homeland, but it also defends the Arab, Islamic, and other nations. Hassoun called upon the army to shoulder its responsibility in protecting the homeland and its history and its future, urging the Syrians to join ranks with the army in defending Syria in the face of the conspiracy that is being hatched against it.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov received the chairman of the National Body of Coordination representing the Syrian Forces of Democratic Change in Moscow, Mr. Haytham Hanna. Mr. Lavrov said that foreign supporters financing the Syrian opposition were hindering the start of dialogue and ending violence in Syria. Lavrov pointed out that the Syrians themselves should solve their own problems without waiting for any foreign proposals and determine the destiny of their own country. He added that all parties now understand the importance of ending violence as soon as possible in order to start the dialogue to solve the crisis. Information Department in the Russian Foreign Ministry announced that the first meeting of the coming strategic dialogue between Russia and Great Britain will be held next Wednesday in London, and it will be attended by foreign ministers of the two countries. The department said that the two sides would discuss aspects of European security, including cooperation about the structure of the European missile defense, in addition to the situation in the Middle East and the Arab world in general. They will also discuss the situation in Afghanistan, the Korean Peninsula, and the Iranian nuclear file. In the context of Russia's role in the Mediterranean area, Russia announced that it had all the capacities to assign a group of ships from its military navy to be permanently deployed in the Mediterranean Sea. This attitude was expressed by Russian Minister of Defense Sergei Shoigu, who affirmed that a decision was taken to set up practical formations of this navy, which can work in several areas. He pointed out that by the end of 2020, the navy would get 24 submarines, 54 ships, 8 destroyers, and 16 multilateral submarines. A unit of the Syrian Arab Army confronted a terrorist group near the square of al-Sawami'a at the northern entrance into Al-Raqqa. A military source said a number of terrorists were killed and the terrorist, Allah Mubarak Allah, was arrested, together with a vehicle carrying weapons. In Damascus countryside, Syrian Arab Army clashed with a terrorist group in Daraya, killing a number of them. There were also direct hits among the terrorists in Yabrud, where 2 vehicles were destroyed with their weapons. Many terrorists were killed and wounded during these operations. In the neighborhood of Wadi Sayah and Homs, the Syrian armed forces continue operations in Homs against terrorists, which ruined everything and killed innocent civilians.
The Syrian army is advancing confidently in the neighborhoods of Homs, cleansing them from the terrorists of Jabhat al-Nusra. Those terrorists entered Wadi Sayah neighborhood, which links Al-Khalidiyya, Al-Warsha and Karm Shamsham, accusing people of being atheists. So they dig the tunnels there to smuggle weapons and equipment, destroying and damaging everything in front of them.
We are in Wadi Saih neighborhood. Terrorists are now hiding inside the opposite building.
They even destroyed the graveyards, distributing their black flags everywhere. With the name of their religion, the religion of Satan, they imprisoned the citizens here, as the explosive devices are still there to be an evidence for their crimes while they were targeting innocents. Few meters only separate the Syrian army from the earth mounds of the terrorists, whereas the Syrian army is moving forward to cleanse not only Homs, but all Syria.
The German weekly Der Spiegel exposed the fact that American experts were training armed terrorists in Jordan in order to smuggle them into Syria. The magazine said that the terrorists were trained to use anti-tank missiles. It added that the Jordanian intelligence participates actively in the training programs. In other local news, the Ministerial Committee assigned to follow up the implementation of the political program to solve the crisis, chaired by Prime Minister Dr. Wael Halaqi, continued its consultative meetings. It met members of the political bureau of the Arab Party of Socialist Union. Led by its Secretary General Safwan Qudsi, they discussed the various meetings with political, social and economic parties and activities in order to set up joint visions and create the suitable element and climate for the success of the democratic national dialogue. The Prime Minister stressed the importance of the previous meetings that aimed at getting rid of the crisis. Mr. Qudsi affirmed on his part support for the political program and the measures taken to ensure its success in order to save our homeland. He asserted that the plot against Syria aimed at harming its national role through the destruction of the Syrian structure, territory, entity and state. In the Governorate of Idlib, the subsidiary committee assigned to follow up the dialogue chaired by the Governor, Safwan Abu Saada, held a meeting attended by Secretary of the branch of the Path Arab Socialist Party, with secretaries of the parties of National Progressive Front at the Governorate. They discussed the main objectives of the dialogue to protect our homeland and restore security and safety in order to open up a new page of hope to build the Syria of the future. Also in Aswaida Governorate, the Dialogue Committee, headed by Governor Atif al-Naddath, met with intellectuals and writers in the Arab cultural centers, listening to their opinions and suggestions concerning the National Comprehensive Dialogue. The intellectuals gave their suggestions, stressing on the necessity to build the trust between the government and the opposition through taking some measures, such as releasing political prisoners. With the aim of raising awareness about children's diseases by holding vaccination campaigns, Minister of Health Dr. Saad Naif will open a national workshop for journalists to introduce this campaign, which will be launched at the beginning of next week and will last till the end of April. The national workshop comes in the framework of introducing the vaccination campaign. The Health Ministry is exerting efforts to ensure the required medicines to citizens, especially vaccinations for children, along with medical companies and international organizations. In the last period, 4 new vaccinations against 11 sicknesses were introduced to the Syrian health system, in addition to the main vaccinations in the regular program.
WHO will support this measles and polio campaign in the same way as we did for the last campaign. We will support Ministry of Health in getting the vaccines out to heavily affected areas. We successfully managed to support last time the delivery of vaccines to Aleppo, to rural Damascus and to Idlib, and we will continue with this support to the best possible way. We cannot guarantee that this will happen, but we will do our very, very best. And we also supported the field visits of senior health staff to follow up and support the health workers in heavily affected area. And the last campaign, thanks to also the media, was very successful. We managed to actually succeed with Ministry of Health and UNICEF to vaccinate 1.5 million children against polio and 1.3 million children against measles. We hope that this time we will manage to cover all the 14 governorates so that we can vaccinate 1.6 million children against polio and measles. That was it. More details on that and other things on our website www.syriaonline.sy.
new agreements in the field of natural gas, and the golden apples are in Syrian markets. Are some of the topics in our economic news with Nariman, but after the break, stay with us.